Yo guys, what's going on? With 2018 behind us, I hope you had a good new year. 2019 on the horizon. I just wanted to run through some decks, in no particular order here, that I think are some of the most influential decks of 2018, and have had an impact, a positive impact on the world of playing cards, and hopefully, will these companies will continue to push things in the future and hopefully have a big impact. So first, I'm gonna have the entry O1s. Probably one of the most unique tuck cases we've seen in playing cards. Something that's going to be very desirable by collectors. It's going to be weird if you have one, you skip two, and then you've got three and four, or your collection is just not complete at the end of the day. So these are cards that I think anybody that's interested in the entry series, and they have these super unique back designs. I got to give them credit; they're super creative. Franco Pasquale and Benji Taylor are just really killing it with the entry series of playing cards. I know I own one and two. Three's on its way, so hopefully that gets here soon. And maybe I'll get lucky and I'll even get a number four with that release, because they did a special promo where you get one, two, three, and if you're lucky, you have a chance of getting four with three when you bought it. So I think that entry's killing it right now. I think that the O1 especially versus the O2, this was really unique, kind of their breakout deck into the world. I think this is a company to watch. Go subscribe to their Instagram account. I'll leave a link below for that. Yeah, I think entry's going to have some cool shit on the horizon. I do usually buy a couple extra decks of entries, so if you guys missed a chance to get them on the original release, pick them up, hopefully through the online store. Number two, I think Illusionist is worth mentioning no matter when it is. This particular deck was Illusionist's first dabble in a puzzle deck, which was very unique. They took the ad cards and the jokers, they got rid of the jokers and combined them to make this map. You solved the map, you got an E-deck. For the first, I think it was 52 people that solved it. I got an E-deck from it. I don't know if they're still available or not. Really, really fun deck. Really cool to see that. This, again, is a deck that I think was just accessible to everybody. I'm personally not a big fan of the Cardgame stock, but I'm pretty sure that's where Illusionist is going in the future. Kind of separating themselves from the United States Playing Card Company. Is that going to hurt the USPCC? I don't think so, but Illusionist seems to think that this is the way of the future for them, which is fine, but I do think that this is an interesting deck. Of all of the Illusionist Cardgame decks, this is by far my favorite one, so that's why it makes my list of top 5 most influential decks of 2018. Next up is the Midnight Nox by Theory 11 and Alex Pandrea. Nox are an interesting deck of playing cards because I think they've always had a place in the world of playing cards, because they're relatively inexpensive for a high quality deck. There's something that's more unique about them than rider backs. A lot of people tend to match the deck of Nox to the outfit that they're wearing, which is kind of something new that I don't think we had really seen before Nox came along. This was a collab with Theory 11. I think, and this part of the reason why this particular deck versus the Summer Nox or any of the other Nox, the Fort Nox, the Super Nox that we saw this year, the reason the Midnight Nox make my list is because I think this is the start of something new for Theory 11 and Alex Pandrea. I think that we're going to see more Nox by Theory 11. I think that that's the future going forward. I think this is the new generation, and so I think the first deck as part of that new generation is going to be the future. And I know that these were printed in limited quantities. I know that they're only sold as part of these midnight releases, so they go on sale for an hour at midnight Eastern Standard Time, and once that sale finishes, that's it. You can't get them again for an undisclosed period of time. Eventually they're going to run out of these and they're not going to be selling them anymore. So I do think the unique sales aspect, The future of Nock playing cards is going to be on Theory 11 cardstock. Unique marking system. I think that this is a game changer for Nock playing cards, and I think that that is one of the most influential decks of 2018. Next up, I've got another Theory 11 deck. This is the Theory 11 High Victorian playing cards in red. So the Theory 11 High Victorian playing cards in red was a Target exclusive. And the reason that I think that this deck is so important in 2018, and I think that this is a deck that kind of flew under the radar a little bit, and people might not agree, but part of the reason I think that this deck is so important is because this is the deck that put Theory 11 playing cards in Target, which for people that are in Europe, people that are in Canada, people that are in Australia, I know I have an audience that are in those places. I'm personally in Canada, probably don't care so much. But this made Theory 11 playing cards accessible to the public. You all of a sudden didn't need to know about the Theory 11 website. I get asked all the time from people that know I'm a card collector, where do I buy my cards? And I have to tell them theory11.com, artofplay.com. And they all go, oh, I'm not interested if I have to go to a website. This now made it so that people could go to Target and buy a really high quality luxury deck of playing cards at a store, at a fairly normal, common, accessible store. This one was a unique release to celebrate that. So I think that that is huge in the world of both playing cards and consumer marketing. And I think that that seals that deck on my list of top 5 most influential decks of 2018. Now, the last deck is a deck that I don't actually own, but makes the cut. Chris Ramsey's First Playing Cards. And there's a couple unique things about that deck. First of all, it's sought after by collectors. It's sought after by magicians. It's sought after by cardists. It's probably one of the most talked about decks. The way that he released it, where he didn't release a limited quantity, he just had it on sale for a limited period of time. And whatever was printed in that window of time when he was pre-selling the deck is what got printed. I know for myself, I wasn't actually in on the world of cardistry and Magic and card collecting when that deck was on sale. Unfortunately, I missed the release, and I would love to get a deck. Right now, they're selling on eBay for about $40, which is a little bit more than I'm willing to pay, but I think just because it's a deck I get asked a lot about my thoughts on it, I think it's a deck that I'm just going to have to suck up the $40. I'm going to have to buy it, and I'll be sure to let you guys know my full thoughts on that when it happens. But I do think that that is one of the most influential decks. I think it was a unique sales system. It's somebody that is probably the biggest, arguably the biggest YouTube Magic personality, one of the biggest names in Magic right now, and cardistry right now. Very unique design, something that is a unique take on something that is classic and timeless. And he really kind of pushed the limits with the fan pattern and the gold foiling and stuff like that with that particular deck of cards. So I think that First Playing Cards, unfortunately, I don't own a deck, but I would say makes the list of top most influential decks of 2018. I know that that deck was technically sold in 17 and then released in 18, but the Chris Ramsey First Playing Cards is the last deck. Unfortunately, I don't have it. Why don't you guys comment below? Let me know what you guys think are the top 5 most influential decks of 2018. And if you guys are new here, subscribe. Got lots of cool content coming out in 2019. I'm going to continue to push kind of the limits of playing cards, taking them into unique environments. I've got a couple really cool trips planned. Hopefully I'll be able to bring you guys along with me. I've got lots of cool podcasts booked and coming up and stuff like that. I think I can talk about it now, but I should be doing a podcast that's going to be releasing at the end of February there with Ian discussing Magic is Dead, the book. So lots of cool stuff. I'm going to be doing a big giveaway for 10,000 followers on Instagram coming up here right away. So stay tuned for that, and we will see you guys next week.